Yeah, I am rolling. So, I mean, welcome to the Pact.
Welcome to the Pact.
To the
we finally
Pact.
got a name.
Yeah, we had a name. We nailed it in the first episode.
Yeah, but we didn't know we nailed it.
No, but that's the beauty of the name, actually. Like,
Yeah.
we did it. We had no
It's
idea that we
natural.
nailed it.
It's natural. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be here. How
Yeah.
I thought earlier, you're the one with podcast experience. So when we were just talking, we're talking about TV shows, and in my mind I'm like, God, he's brilliant. He's already started. Look at him go. But and it makes me wonder if we're gonna become those kind of guys who, when we go for we go out and we're talking, can we not be those guys who are like, we'll save it for the podcast? Because then it's going to go against our pack. Like, we're going to ruin our lives.
It kind of depends, you know. Like, I mean, if we're going to talk about something like let's say it's kind of topical, you know what I mean? Like, maybe people are interested in hearing about what Tio thinks about Emmett Shear resigning from Twitch. You know, and that gets brought up. Then like I don't have to talk about that on a night out. And like,
yeah, you're not super into it.
and Stefan's sitting there, and like maybe he doesn't give a shit, and he doesn't know who Emmett Shear is. So like we could table that and put it and like talk about it on the podcast. Why not?
Fair.
But if someone comes up with something really like interesting and natural, then it's like, we wouldn't ruin our night to be like, no, we can't. It needs to be a podcast format.
We'll be sat with two others, and they'll bring up something really interesting, and you're like,
Nope.
Tio and I cannot partake in this conversation.
Yeah.
You'll hear what we think on our podcast.
Yeah, what if it was something that we wanted to talk about, though? Like, if we were like, oh, we should definitely have a conversation about Arnold Schwarzenegger sex tape, you know, and then someone else brings it up, and then we're like,
Yeah,
like, sorry, but we really want to
really
say
conflicted.
Yeah. You see, there's always a scenario.
Yeah, I had someone say, I don't know, the reactions were really nice to the first podcast. I had someone said like, great, another podcast, you know. Which is so fucking classic. Yeah.
I mean, it is also classic of us. Like, of course, there's another podcast now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, who cares?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, fuck it, man. I just want to just chat a little bit.
Yeah. And also, I mean, come on, let's face it. Like, there are a lot of podcasts that aren't very good.
Including this one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Somebody
said that Germany, one of Germany's absolute biggest podcasts, now I'm an idiot because I didn't actually look that up, is just two guys chatting the shit.
Yeah.
Which surprised me. I thought podcasts that do well these days have to have like a shtick, you know? Like, oh, we're always high, you know? Or that's not much of a shtick. But you know, it has to have like a but. It's like modern YouTube titles. They always have to have, I play blah, blah, blah. But, you know, every time I die, I strip, you know, I lose a clothing.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be like, it has to have a twist somewhere.
The only podcasts that I enjoy listening to, they are sort of free flowing. Even if they do have a thing, like I don't listen to as much anymore, but there's a podcast called If I Were You that I listen to. It's with Jake and Amir, you know, from College Humor.
Oh, yeah. Are they still going?
Yeah.
As a podcast?
And they have and it's called If I Were You because they take viewer submissions for advice. So someone will write in like they'll do like 3 emails in an episode, and like someone will write in about like, oh, my boss is like smells like shit.
Yeah.
And then they sort of have like a funny thing, but you have to put in your own personal experiences and stuff like that. And like if they want to talk about like some movie that they saw, you know, like if you wanted to talk about Shazam, I saw you read about Shazam.
Yeah.
Like, they could. They totally could.
Yeah.
So like they're not restricted to that.
I was gonna ask that if they just like, we can't. No, that's not the rule of the podcast.
They've done like, I mean, I want to say they've done like 700 episodes or something. Wow. So imagine if they're still like, no. Yeah. Oh my god, no, you can't.
Stick to the rule. Stick to the rule.
Yeah.
That's where I got sick, I think. The Shazam red carpet.
Oh, right. You know, I saw that it made not so much money.
Yeah, so
it makes sense, you know, if they scrap the entire universe and they're like, but you should anyway come watch the movie. It's like none of it matters, but you should come watch.
I don't know if it's because of that though. It was so I want to start off by saying thanks to Warner Brothers for
thank you guys, seriously,
for inviting me. It was, you know, it was a week and a half before premiere, and that was cool. It was red carpet, and got to see the director, David Sandberg, who's Swedish, who's up on stage talking, and he's really cool. What's cool with him is that he started off on YouTube, called like Pony Smasher or something, really just like classic early YouTube name. He started off with Lights Off or whatever, it was a short film, and that got like Best Director, and that's how we kind of got into it all. And I invited Stefan to come join me at a +1, and it was like red carpet event, and I was like, ooh, and I dressed up and stuff, and there were so many kids. Which is fine, but like I think, and like they were like free champagne, and I was like, ooh, here we go. But it was like, I don't know, there were a lot of kids, and it was full packed. You could not get you were like squeezing between people to get to places. On a plus side, the free champagne was lovely. I was just downing glasses, you know.
I was just about to ask if the fact that kids were there made you uncomfortable drinking.
No,
but
I'm
not
perfectly comfortable drinking around kids. Come on. No, it was really, it was all right, but the movie was not great. Yeah. Did you see the first one?
Yes, I did.
Did you like the first one?
No.
Why not?
I'm tired of the tone that all these Marvel, well, it's not Marvel, but all these superhero movies use the exact same tone. Like they're really funny. I'm thinking of this one girl on TikTok who makes videos about like the Marvel writers, and she does all these like tropes and stuff, and she reenacts them, and it's really funny. But that's the only thing I can think of when it's like saying "we got company," like unironically saying "we got company" when there are enemies coming is like. I just can't take it seriously. It's so stupid, and that's the tone of Shazam as well. He's very like goofy, and like he's like, "You'll never beat family," and then of course nobody shows up, and he's like, guys, like that's so cringe.
It's a really good example as well. Yeah, they really enforced that in Shazam 2, but the jokes just. But also the jokes weren't really hitting. There were a couple of references that made me laugh, but in general, it was just, it was pretty bland. And then the thing that I tweeted about, it was just like a 2-minute Skittles commercial in the middle of it. I don't mind when movies have commercial placement. Like it's all right when a car and you can tell like, oh, these 5 seconds are an ad. You know, when it does really beautiful shots of them driving, you know, or you know, an energy drink, and they're like, I'm just gonna have a Red Bull real quick, I'll join you soon, you know, and that's it. But not only did they had Skittles and it was long, but it was used as a plot device. And I don't want to spoil the movie here, but like it was like fully used as a plot device, and it was just that part that I showed on Twitter. It was just, do we show it?
This is the movie? No, this is...
That's
not a
from
scene
the movie.
From the movie.
That's the movie, yeah.
Way.
And it's part of like a minute and a half thing. But when she goes, taste the rainbow, I cringe. I don't use that word lightly, but I was really like...
Yeah.
It was... it's used as a plot device in the movie. So I guess I'll just end it with saying that, yeah, Shazam 2 was all right. It was okay. It was perfectly okay. But
listen, I'm all for paying the bills. Really, like,
yeah.
I've never understood why people consider people like you, for instance, a sellout if you do like an advertisement. But I think there's a turnaround because it's more like now we see it in podcasts all the time, and like, you know,
people come around
understand. To it. Yeah, especially when things happen like adpocalypse on YouTube and like which take 50% of your subs now. Like you have to almost, if you want to keep doing this, you have to. And I think people understand.
Yeah.
But the skills thing, that was fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping they got paid a lot for it because it's the longest, not only is it the most obvious commercial ever, but it's the longest one. At some point when the movie's out, I'll show you the full ad because you would think that it's just a separate thing, but it's fully part of the movie. I used to think that people didn't use the word sellout correctly. It was just like, as soon as you... did you fall asleep? Oh, you're looking down? I thought you were... I used to think that people used the term sellout incorrectly. But now I think people have kind of gotten around to it, as you say. I think people just use it now if I'm like, gambling, guys, go check it out.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's literally selling out. You're selling out your own belief and morals, you know, for money.
A little bit like funnily as well. I think like it's almost a joke now. Like if you do some kind of advertisement and then people spams like, or someone writes sellout with like an emoji, it's like oh no, not sellout. You know, it's like we're having fun in a way.
Yeah.
Like of course I think that people actually genuinely think that too though.
What, that you're like
that you are a sellout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, sellout. Like Raid Shadow Legends.
This month actually I've done the most sponsored stuff I've ever done in a month. I think I counted the other day streams and videos between I think I'm doing like 7 different sponsorships this month or something.
Cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean,
yeah. As your friend, when I hear that, I'm like, oh, like that's really good. Like, congrats.
Yeah. And can you imagine if you had a negative reaction? Like, what kind of world are you like? Oh my fucking God, how dare you? Like if I were to tell you, yeah, if I were to tell you that like one of them, like, you know, like it's stuff like HelloFresh or certain games coming out and whatnot, because that's lovely, right? But if I think that's, as you say, that's what it should come down to. It's just what you're advertising, really.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be super happy if you were sponsored by, you know, like ISIS or something. That's pretty bad. That's just pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't be super happy. You'd just be, good for you, yeah.
You could be sponsoring gambling to kids.
Yeah, like, but if it's ISIS, that's where you, Richard, draw the line.
Listen, I'm happy to go on record saying that's my line.
That's your line, yeah. Okay. Well, you know, I'm sure we'll be seeing something like that. I wouldn't be surprised with like Kick. They're really advertising as this like, we have no limits. It's fine. You can do whatever on here. Like,
yeah. Well, I think their main like the biggest streamers that are participating in Kick, they're the ones who are like, you can do anything. You can whip out your dick and jack off.
Yeah.
And then like the guys in Kick are like, oh my god, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. And it's also really fucked up because a lot of the streamers who are talking about or doing that are the guys who have a lot of kids watching them. Which is just insane to me that they don't even think about that. They don't even care.
I genuinely think that they don't believe that there are kids watching them. They're like, really? No, my viewer base is 18 to 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And like me, they're 18 to 25 and they're this and that. Like, no, they're definitely 12-year-old kids.
Have you ever seen, I don't remember what streamer it was. I wonder if it was Speed or something. I saw a clip of him talking to viewers and they were all joining in and they were all like 10 years old. Like, and he looked so really good. Like, what the fuck? Who are all these? Are these my views? Like, you could tell. You could tell that he was really genuinely surprised. So I think there's truth in what you say, that they genuinely believe that their audience is just like 18 plus, like some 16-year-olds maybe, but no kids.
And the only clips that you see of like people. There was one on LSF just like 2 days ago or something. Like Mizkif is at some event and he films like some like 10-year-old kid and he's like, oh, what streamers do you watch? And he's like, I only know Speed. It's like, so you only ever see these kids, you know, but like it's just perfect. I love it.
Yeah. I wanted to
let me interrupt you and link you something first, because I don't know if you've seen this. I feel like we would have talked about it. Yeah, but I feel like we would have talked about it or something. And you missed my tweet about it, maybe. You can find all my links below in the description.
Now you can, actually. Couldn't on the last one, because I had to verify the channel. But now, actually, we can have our links. Yeah.
Okay, but I thought it'd be nice to get your live reaction. Did you see this?
Ooh, maybe like late at night. I forgot. I think I read this late at night and forgot about it.
It can't be. Obviously, Spartacus won't be in it, you know.
Well,
I think it's safe to say.
Guys, we love Spartacus, by the way, in case this is really random. Richard and I, this is an original series. An original. When Spartacus first came out with Andy
Whitfield.
We were huge on this, and there's this character in it called Batiatus, who has the best lines I've ever heard in a show. You know, stuff like he'll swear and say like Jupiter's cock and stuff, and it's just he's just really over the top.
Like the gods give us like, you know, something good.
Yeah, the gods
ram their cocks up our ass.
Yeah, what's the line? The gods. And then ram cock.
Only to ram cock in ass.
Only to ram. You know, he has such good lines. So we were huge fans of this show. Andy Whitfield ended up passing away, and then Liam McIntyre took over as the role for Spartacus. What are they saying in this?
It's going to be like about. I think I remember reading that it's going to be about like the downfall of Rome.
Ooh.
So it's like Caesar, I guess, will be back in it, and Cassius, you know, and someone will be like fucking Mark Antony and blah blah blah.
Nice.
And as long as it's the same like cloak and dagger feel, and like the writing is and the dialogue is like exactly, and like there's like all these classic like slow motion scenes where they fight with the swords and like they cut some guy's chest and the blood is like
there's like a guy hung up like being punished and his dick is like 3 times as long as it's meant to be, and it's just really over the top.
It's just really really good television, man. Like no matter what you think, if it's like objectively bad, who cares? Like it's just really really great to watch.
Yeah.
There's a tweet right there with the original creator saying like, he's in.
True. Oh, he verifies. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You get so much misinformation. So when you just get this, like, there's so many rumors and stuff, you know. Yeah. No, good show. I'm in for this. The bar isn't high in terms of like. I think if the original creator is joining as well, he probably knows what the style was behind the first one.
Yeah.
To make it
I hope
good
so.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, because all I want is to have its like original feeling back. There's really no other show like it.
Yeah. And it's funny. I don't know. To be honest, maybe the bar is really high, because what's the difference between this Spartacus and a really bad quality, badly written show? What's the true difference? Why does this have this like excitement to do with it? And then someone else someone else would do a bad show and it's just bad, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I really just throw a stab at that real quick. But what's the difference between a bad show?
Wait, why is that show bad?
Oh, Kenobi?
I avoid all Star Wars.
It's
trash.
It's like they don't know if they were meant to show it for like the Kenobi. I feel like they went for the hype for like mid 20-year-olds, early 30-year-olds, you know. And then the show, when you watch it, like straight off out of the gates, it's written for like 8-year-olds. Like it's a bunch of like silly parkour and then also all of the villains in the show, their only personality is to be mad. They're all just angry. That's it. That's their personality. So it's just really easy. No one has any deep kind of. They're all just like, "Wah!" They're all just mad all the time, and it's just really simple fucking shit. Like it's there's no deep writing to do with it, you know. Whereas you look at something like Spartacus, and I would say, like, in a way, I think it's a bad show. Like, in a way, it could be, but for some reason, we're like, oh, Spartacus though.
I think it's because it's number one, it's exciting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like a lot of really good characters that have their like motivations, like Batiatus. He obviously is incredibly ambitious, and he has a lot of enemies. So he just naturally, any situation that he's in, he wants to be ahead of everybody all the time. And even if he's like working together with someone, he's such a unlikable guy for the characters in the show that they want to betray him. But he's also smart, so he's ahead of the game. And the fighting is obviously like good. I don't know about Kenobi, but like if you look at like the Flash, that is like there's no redeeming qualities in that show whatsoever.
I've been
and
getting
like
random
Arrow.
Flash clips, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks trash.
Yeah, seriously. Like that is a really fucking awful show.
Yeah.
And like I think Arrow season 1 was good. I watched it, and then it just like plummets into hell. It's like one of the cheesiest. Any CW writing is like they'll just be like they think they really get deep shit going, but they're like, so the only person that you can't beat now, and then he turns around, is yourself. You know what I mean? And then the main character is like, it's just. I think there's a feeling in those shows that they create where it's like it's written for teenagers as well, you know, and I think mainly like teenage girls basically. Whereas something like Spartacus it's written for us. That's why we don't think it's a bad show.
I think also you hit the nail on its head with the character writing as well. Like despite the script being cheesy, the characters themselves are quite deep, and they have a lot of angles to them. They're not two-dimensional. And I think that's probably a huge difference.
And just when you think that like this guy is doing something really good, something really bad happens to someone else that then changes his motivation to do a bad thing instead.
Yeah.
Like,
so in a way, it is really good writing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I would probably, and I will die on this hill.
But the
If someone wants
dialogue
to-
is cheesy.
I guess kind of, because like, did they really speak like that back in Rome? Or were they like, gratitude? You know?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But I like it. I can
so
understand.
Gratitude.
Yeah, and then like, you have deepest thanks.
Yeah.
like I don't know. I didn't look into it, so I don't know if that's true.
Bless the gods, you're alive.
Something, yeah, you know.
Very like Skyrim AI kind of talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all subjective in the end, so.
Yeah, there's going to be people in the comment section who say Spartacus is absolute horse shit. Yeah.
And I understand why. I understand why you would think that. You're wrong.
Did you ever hear about Paddy missing? Did you hear his story about it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Paddy
where he watched.
So they had Spartacus season 1, and then Andy Whitfield went into. He had to do his cancer treatment. So they did a prequel season of Spartacus, which I don't even think. So they didn't call that season 2. Technically, it was like it had its own, because Spartacus is called Spartacus Blood and Sand, and then that was called something
Gods
different.
of the Arena.
Yeah. No, that was a prequel season. And then there were 2 more seasons after that with the new Spartacus actor. But he ended up so there were technically 4 seasons. So he, after watching the prequel season, looked up season 3 and watched that. And then he was done with it. And he never watched season 2 because he thought season 2 was the prequel season.
Oh, that's what he missed.
Yeah. So he missed the middle season completely. And I remember his revelation on me. He was like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen." And I was like, "How did you?"
Gone and shit,
yeah, exactly. And he was like,
characters.
he just assumed that, like, with there being spacing and like with the cancer and everything, he just thought that like some actors backed out and they were just written off the show, like, and that they did a time skip, you know, and there were a couple of like previously on and stuff. So he just kind of assumed. And to this day, he really likes the show. He never watched season 2. If anyone's watching this and you're looking for something to watch
Spartacus, man. Like, you will not regret it.
The first season's really good, yeah. You just have to get over that first episode because the CGI and stuff a little. I remember the first, it's like rough. It's really rough.
It's really rough. It's really rough.
It gets a little better throughout the season. I think it's like
and the prequel season, the prequel season really steps it up.
Yeah. The prequel season was like surprisingly good. Considering it's something they were just like, let's just do this. Like, it ended up being really, really good.
Anyway, what were you going to say before I interrupted you with this?
I wanted to share the story of how I was so close to getting scammed.
Oh yeah.
Let me
can we mention names, like what company this was?
It doesn't go that deep, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, like not company, but like you'll see. I was working on a project and we put up a tweet for looking for artists. And then so we found our artist for it, but then this guy also submitted, and it wasn't in the style that we needed for the project, but we sent him a message saying like, can we have a chat? We want to we have another thing in mind in a couple months that we want to work with you on. And he sent this is really nice, right?
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, and this, you know. And it's in similar style, I'd say. Yeah, it's pixel art. But then also he sent this.
Cool.
Which is really, really cool. So we were really excited. We were like, we need to work with this guy. Like, and in a couple months, there's something coming up that we need to do where this kind of style would be perfect. So we scheduled a call with him. And you would think that part is just a quick thing. But no. Like, he said he's from Canada. And he has and his name was just, I won't give this name, but it's the equivalent of like Adam Peter. Like, it's just 2 first names. Like he had no @ like there was no username. Like he was just like very generic name, incredible art style. And that to me is kind of a red flag looking back at it. There was no website or anything. He just sent in all of this stuff, really good quality stuff. And he gave the time zone he's in. He said he's in Canada, and he gave his work hours. And when we looked at the time zone he had given, he was like, I'm at the studio between this and this. And we were like, the studio? Like, okay, yeah, sure. And we looked at it and it was like, why is he working at such... It was something really weird. Like, he was at the office, like, just in the middle of the night, you know? Like, so that was the first part that we were really like, okay, that's a bit odd. And we scheduled a call with him. And then it ended up being really confusing. Hobo was scheduling a call with him, and they did a bunch of back and forths, and the guy was just like, it's as if he didn't know the time zone he had given that he lives in, almost as if he didn't live in Canada.
Oh no, yeah.
But we didn't think much of it then. We were just like, this guy's really confusing with the time zones. We ended up scheduling the call. He didn't show up. We get it, and then finally he shows up, and he's like, sorry, like, and he had gotten it wrong again. And we're like, okay, whatever. We talk to him and we say that we really like the art style. And he's like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I want to do this. And we said, okay, we're going to get back to you in a couple months' time. And he, what was it he said? So at that point, he showed a few more styles. He showed a few more like shots. And I remember thinking a little bit like, these are all very different from each other. Like, but he made that work because he said, there's 2 of us in the studio. So I thought like, oh, okay, so you got a couple different art styles, like, and like you're both working on these things, I guess. But it wasn't a big deal because I said like, let's talk again in a few months. He was down, whatever. A few months goes by, and every now and then he's contacting us and asking like, is it time? And then it was finally time. And we sent him what we had agreed on, basically saying like, yeah, this is the style, kind of like what you did here. And we sent him a long page of everything we needed. And at that point, I didn't think much of any of the little red flags that had popped up here and there. Then he said, okay, cool. Can I have half the payment now? And that was kind of like, you know what? The thing is, I'm a little surprised that I did this, but I
sent him everything.
No, I'm a really trusting guy, and like I could have, honestly, like I could have.
Oh man.
So what I wrote out was so he said, all right, if you're comfortable with everything, shall we proceed with the payment, as I usually take half or full up front as a deposit to start the work. And I said, as you haven't, so I talked to Hobo a bit about it, and I said, you haven't sent any public page with your work. I am hesitant to send any money before some work has been started on and shown. I've had people try to scam me in the past. I'm very thorough with doing things right. That was a lie. This was the first time that anyone's tried to scam me.
Very nice. But next time you say it, it won't be a lie.
Exactly. Now I actually have experience. And I wrote, I have years of publicly worked on projects together with multiple people. Currently, I have 4 editors on my payroll, all of whom you could message and ask if I'm reliable with payments. This current project you're joining in on has 2 other artists and a developer I'm paying monthly, who I'm happy to send you contact details for. I hope you find me trusting enough to get started on the job before getting paid. I have no references to go by if you want payment first. I thought this was fair. You know, like this is like I'm willing to pay, but first I need to actually see if there's any sort of reference I can go by here, because you've just sent images first. And he says, well, I can share you the references of my clients as well about my legitimacy. Also, I do take deposit through PayPal, so you can easily get your refund back. Also, I can share you my portfolio. Huh?
Why did you say it like that? You went, my legitimacy.
Well, I just think it I don't know.
I thought maybe he added like italics, you know?
No.
Legitimacy.
He's really pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
As I do work as a freelancer, so I can't bear the charges on credits already got scratched multiple times as well. And I was really like, what do you, like, suddenly he's just not writing things as he has. Like, he started rambling a bit with me. And then he sent, here's the link to my ArtStation portfolio. And his ArtStation, which is like an art place where you have all of your like things you've done in the past, it has like 8 different things, all very different art styles. And it was all uploaded like 2 weeks ago. And it had no followers, no comments from people who have worked with him, just nothing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I said, okay, thanks, this helps. What deposit would you be happy with to get started? He said, half of this deposit right now, rest upon completion. And at this point, I was like ready to do it. But first, let me do a little bit of research. So I go to Google Images and I start dragging over each of them. And I shit you not, the first 4 I looked up didn't give me any results. And then the last one I was going to check, he had like 8 on his page. Like the 5th one I checked, I got a result to another page. And then the next one after that I checked also got a result. And I found these like way more legitimate places that have them, where it's like this one has a guy saying he made it for like take part in a game, like did character, and there's all these links and like views and likes. This one as well was just, so I ended up finding them, and and I sent that to him.
And you sent that GIF or something?
Yeah. Just saying. I said, it seems I'm finding many of your art pieces on other websites by other people. Here are a couple as example. And he said, of course, as every art is not handled by a single person, as you told me that you have already hired some artists for your animations as well. That is why. I was like, what?
Wait. Of course, as every art is not handled by a single person, as you told me that you have already hired some artists for your animation as well, that is what?
Yeah, try to decipher this.
My brain gets like lagged when I.
But maybe they do that on purpose.
I don't think so. I mean, it's not a.
It's meant to sound good, but when you really think about it, you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just like I'm glitched now, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
If you want, so you can ask them as well. I don't have any issue. Just be comfortable. So I think what he's saying is like he's worked on projects with many other artists, and that's why I'm finding them on other links, you know? And he's like, I was part of that. But like I didn't find him mentioned anywhere, you know? So I sent this.
Of course.
Yeah, and he reacted to it with a sweaty smile.
With a sweat smile, nice, yeah. I wonder if he understood that. You know, does he understand what he's saying? Like, or does he understand what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. But I think I'm one of like 10 different projects right now that he's trying to scam. You know.
Yeah.
So I kept on going, who made the one we like, the greenhouse one? I have made it for my client. Also, I do have the original files. Perfect.
How can you? Okay.
So I said, hit me with it. Like, I want his project files. He's claiming that he has the original files for this art that I like. I was like, perfect, hit me with it. Sure, it'll take some time to find out, as there are multiple short files at the back of this pixel GIF animation, but we'll share it to you here. Okay, I'm waiting. 2 days go by, and I ask again. We're trying here. Can't wait to see, another day. Here he goes. Here are the files. You can see I was working for the animation. And it's really just like...
The entire project?
Just outlined. Like...
Yeah.
And
does
so
it show
Hobo goes...
the layers?
Yeah, exactly. There's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's just this, and then the original one dragged it.
Yeah.
Hobo goes, interesting use of Illustrator for an animation project. Also, why is the source image called WhatsApp 2023 and you could see it up here? So he's clearly just like probably sent it with someone else and just gotten it done.
Yeah.
And then this is the perfect part. Hobo said, also looks scary similar to this image trace I did on the freeze frame. And it's literally just like obviously. A filter, like
yeah, exactly.
And then they end up like fucking about back and forth, and he's really trying to like make it seem legitimate. And it ended with like him saying, I'll do a video. And Hobo said, can't wait to see the video. And we never heard from him again.
And that was how many days ago?
This was a month ago.
1 month ago.
Yeah.
Hey, he's working hard on the fucking video, man.
He's working on the video to show the proof.
You think this shit's easy? I mean, he has to go through his entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that he kept going for so long trying to back out of it and like trying to explain. And he said stuff like, "What I was supposed to? If I was supposed to give you any kind of scam, why would I have waited 3 to 4 months?" And it's interesting reading this because I think the reason he keeps going, despite us saying that we caught him, is because it works sometimes. He probably has 20 different people he's scamming, and if he goes this deep, every now and then someone's like, "Yeah, fair enough," Either that or he's desperate.
It doesn't take that much work, honestly, to just be like, if I was trying to scam you, why would I do it over the course of 3 months? Tell me that. Like, it's a really shitty response. So like, the work he put in there wasn't very tough to do. But what I don't understand is, listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but he's from Canada.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be able to speak English. He could be from some small place in French Canada. Yeah, sure.
No, he
but still, like if he's like, oh, I'm from North America,
he shouldn't have said. I think he says it because it sounds trusting, but he shouldn't have said Canada. I think 'cause, when I talked to him on the phone, I think he was Indian, which has a lot of like call centers scamming as well and stuff. So but I think that if his thing is to say he's from Canada, I don't think it works well. But to be honest, we caught on pretty late. Honestly, he did a good job keeping us going with him.
But surely when he sent all this stuff, you realized
at this point, like that's why I looked up. I was never, to tell you the truth, I was never going to send him the money before having any sort of reference, And the fact that he just gave this like website and there was no reference to any customer he's worked with or anything, I had to look it up on Google. But it took like 5 images until Google gave me a result for one of them and like another page. Looking back at it as well, I think like that animation that I showed of the garden or the greenhouse is amazing. And he asked for $450 for it, which seems low looking back at it now.
That seems very low, especially considering like, I don't know how many hours you probably put into that, or the original artist put into that.
Yeah.
You're probably
way
paying
too much for 500, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, but the thing is, it's not like I sat there and was like, okay, 500. Like I'm doing a bunch of projects, and he goes and I go, yeah, okay, that's fair. And then like once it was time, found out this, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. This looks insane for the, and that's when everything started hitting, But it's a kind of thing that could have hit me after. I could very well have paid him and then been like, looking at this now, I look like a fucking moron. Have you ever been scammed or anything? Have you ever been down this road?
No, because I don't do this type of work, obviously.
No.
One time I won't say too much because it's like not really my place, but in a place where I worked, we were going to hire someone, and then upon further inspection, his references all said that he was a really bad person to work with.
Oof.
So it was like it's like crazy how you can meet someone and be like, oh hi, like, oh nice to meet you, and like, oh, I had a really good vibe from this guy, and then you like check reference. You know, who knows what happened like with these people who maybe they're like trying to keep him in this place, so they're like, no, he's spreading shit all over the walls, you know, and stuff. So you can't have this guy. But that's probably the closest. But also, I think I'm pretty like suspicious in nature.
Yeah.
So like as
you
soon
and I
as
are opposites, I think. Then
I think so. But that's why we're such a good team, man. Put in the Calder Milk reference right here.
Nice.
You know, we're the perfect duo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as soon as someone would be like, because you said that you scheduled a call with him and he didn't show up.
No, and when we asked him about it, he said he got the time zones wrong.
That to me is already like you had the time zones wrong. Like you're a freelance artist, probably work like with international people, and like you're telling me like you didn't schedule a call right, or like you didn't show up. Then I'd be like, I'm already like kind of mad. So now I'm like, okay, like so I guess you don't work then. Like you're not gonna.
Oh, so this isn't you being suspicious at that point. You're just pissed off that he.
A little bit. You'd
rather have him be honest and just be like, I overslept. Sorry.
A little bit, but that's also maybe because of like corporate experience.
Yeah,
like,
I will say it happens a lot in my opinion with meetings that someone doesn't show, and you have to send them a reminder. They're like, sorry, I got in the middle of something.
But that does not fly in any corporate environment.
Yeah, I know.
We were going to interview somebody once for a position, and they didn't show up, and then like immediately like he was 10 minutes late, and immediately like my boss was like, no, this guy's a no for me.
Oh,
like,
really?
You know, you don't show up 10 minutes late to an interview, like, and and I was a little like come on, like he knows what happens, and then he just didn't show up, and he was like, hi, I'm so sorry, like oh my god, I'm so sorry, like I got this the time zone's wrong, man. I'm serious. You're like, no way. You did not get the fucking time zones wrong, bro. Like, I guess done here.
I guess it depends, you know, because like I think if it's something where it's like an artist, we do one meeting, maybe another where we then, if we agree to do another, we do one more meeting talking about what we want to do, and then they go work for a few weeks, and then we do a meeting. You know, like it's not like we're meeting up every day, you know. So I guess it depends on what the job is. But I also think it's about honesty in that moment. You know, when I mess up, like if a sponsor wants a video in time and it messes up, I give them the honest reason for it, you know. And I think that's like one of the more important things. Rather than coming with some time zone excuse, for example, as you say.
Yeah. I mean, he could have said anything as well. Like, why didn't he say like, hi, like my dog's been throwing up.
Yeah.
Like all morning, like I can't figure out what's wrong with him. Like so, I'm at the vet right now. So sorry about this. And then you're like, oh, sorry, guy. Like, oh fuck. Like, hope the dog is getting better.
Yeah,
then I'd be like,
you send a pic of the dog so that you really go for their heart with it as well.
It's just a picture of the dog.
It's just laying in
like,
bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, whatever, dog in bed image.
Yeah.
How mad would you have been if you did get scammed? Like, how deep would you chase this? Ever see Taken?
If it was half, yes. I need my money back.
How Taken do you get?
You know, if it was half of it, so $225, I would see it as a life lesson and just like, fuck it, let's just move on. If I fully sent the 450, I think this would bother me for a few months.
That's it? Bother you for a few months?
I'm not going to fly to Canada, search for him, find out that he's actually in India.
He's not in Canada,
then
man.
Fly to India.
He was never Canadian.
And then go to all these centers and be like, hey, John Terry here, and they're like, well, we have like 3 of the, because it's a fake fucking name as well.
In this building, yeah, John Terry. Yeah.
They all come to the desk like, hello. Yeah, what do you want me to do? Like, obviously, I would have reported it in PayPal, but I suspect the fact that he brought that up, the refund thing with PayPal, I suspect that it sucks, and he knows how to kind of like make it fly by doing like. He probably has ways. So maybe there's like a 50% chance that PayPal just declines my refund request, and so he just says, "Fuck it, let's give it a go anyway." Well, what do you want me to do? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what the process is, man. I've never been scammed by John Terry. Like, do you go to the website that you found him in?
Nah, he just reached out on Twitter. I was thinking about the scamming thing, and I actually know 2 people who did get scammed. I'm not going to out them. I'm not going to be like, no. Listen, what a fucking... No, but like, it's...
But in the same kind of style you got scammed in?
No, one of them, she got scammed in England. She was looking for a place, and in London, in the London area. And she, and that's tough as it is. And then a deal popped up that was really good. Almost too good to be true.
Okay. So I wonder why.
Yeah, and she went and looked at the place and stuff, and they came with some really good. Looking back, I think there was a couple good excuses there and stuff. But with such a tough market, they said like, yeah, you're ready to move in, and like the reviews looked good as well on this person who had put up the apartment. Like there were all kinds of things that it just looked good. And they asked for a deposit so that she could move in. And they used, it's called Western Union, I think, maybe. It's like a bank thing in
a lot of people sending money.
Yeah. So she deposited £1,000 pounds at Western Union, but then didn't. So their thing was like, you need to show that you have the deposit ready, and then we'll go check it out. I think it was something like that. And so she did that, and then showed like the receipt saying like, yeah, it's ready, but she hadn't given a name, so nobody could take it out except for her with her ID, with her name. But they ended up then faking an ID in her name and went and took it out.
You can just fake an ID and be like, hello, yes, I'm Jessica Simpson. As you can see, I would like my $1,000, please.
Yeah, they because they had asked her for proof that she had the money, and so she sent a pic of the receipt as well. And so with that and the faked ID, they managed to get it out. And
God
Western Union, I think, is used a lot by scammers, and they have all kinds of warnings against like all that kind of stuff, but it still happens. And then the other one was someone I know who got scammed out of $1,000 CS:GO skins. They took his skins basically, and he didn't get the money.
He was going to buy skins?
No, he had the skins, was going to sell them, and they tricked the system in some way, and he lost like $1,000 worth of money on the skins that he lost.
Ooh.
And it's so sad, I think, because I think it's a really common thing that people get scammed, but it's so embarrassing that they won't mention it. They don't want to say it. They don't want to admit to it. Like, I sound like a fucking moron, I think, talking about how I almost got scammed, talking about all these red flags, and that I was around the corner from sending the money. Like, it sounds pretty stupid. I could see why people would be so embarrassed if they actually go the way that, like, looking back at it, they'll be like, yeah, I should have seen all the signs. But then they ended up falling for it, and then they get embarrassed and don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of this. This is a Swedish commercial. I saw it somewhere, probably TikTok, honestly. Yeah. But people are just out on the streets, and they're like, "Hey, I just saw that you bought something in this store. Like, here's 100 crowns, like 10 pounds back." It's just cash, and they're walking up to them like, "Hey, I just saw you bought something in here. Here's 10 pounds in cash." And they're like, obviously, most of the people are just walking away. They're like, no, sorry. And I would probably be the same, honestly. I'd be like, you're just walking up to me and giving me 100 crowns, $10 for doing nothing? Like, I'm good, man. Like, get out of my face. But then, of course, some people are like, oh, okay. And then they take the money and they're like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, that's it. But then, how do you know what happens after?
What,
Like,
you the receiver?
Yeah, like why trust this random person walking up to you?
Was this in Sweden,
And-
did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also more uncommon here. I feel like Americans are quite used to like TikTokers walking around. I'm not saying that I expect it to be everywhere. People handing out money and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like you see it way
TikTokers,
more.
man.
Like they,
Yeah.
You don't
Want the
really see it in
$10
Swedish
or
ones.
double it up and give it to the next person?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the TikTok that Stefan was in. remember this?
Yeah.
Because they were doing the whole like, what do you work with? Like, and it was a Swedish person going around, and obviously that's not a thing. And Stefan said that before he was asked, it was someone next to him or something, or no, they walked past me. They walked past me and asked someone next to me, and because he was across the road, and she eventually got to him. Yeah, but they were walking on my street as well, and they asked someone next to me, and she was really like, I'm not going to give you that information. Why are you asking me that? Like, she was really suspicious about it, you know. And I feel like that's a very Swedish like reaction to kind of be like, what? Why are you asking me what I work with? This is so weird. Like, they didn't even have the concept in their head that this, because she had the video up and stuff like this, but they just got really pissed off at her.
In that context, I just go stripper.
Yeah,
I'm a stripper, you know. And
you just make it
like,
interesting for them.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, huh?
Yeah.
You? And I go, excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say there? Are you honestly just like, I'm a YouTuber. You can find me at teosgame.com. Find my newest project over here.
I don't think I advertise, no. But I'd probably, I think it's interesting enough to just be like, yeah, I work with YouTube. They'd probably be like, oh, really? Like, you know, and that's interesting for them. Compared to someone who's just like, I work at a desk, you know?
Yeah, like accountant. And then they're like, okay. And like, you know, they're, what do you work?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what do you work? What do you work? What do you work though?
Yeah.
Like, what do you work? Can you tell what you work? And they're like accountant. And like, oh. And then they put it down. They're like, fuck.
I fucking
boring.
hate it. I mean, I uninstalled TikTok a couple years ago now, but I can't escape YouTube Shorts because I need, obviously, to have YouTube. I'm on YouTube on my phone a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't uninstall YouTube. Yeah. So I find myself every now and then, like I'll like zone in and I'll be like, wait, why am I watching Shorts? Like, and I don't know how I got there. Like, it's just a reflex as you're just like scroll. You just end up on Shorts at one point. And I realized it's a time teleport. You're just going forward in time. There's nothing interesting on YouTube. There's absolutely on YouTube Shorts. It's just nothingness, and that's how I used to feel about TikTok. TikTok was a little better, but YouTube Shorts, man, like, it's such shit. I've been saving clips over the last few months as I'm on YouTube. Every time there's something that pisses me off, that's just like, why is this even a thing? And I've been saving it to show you because I thought at some point it would come up. Like, look at this one. Well, first of all, this fucking shit. This is just me ranting at this point. This fucking shit.
I love it. Listen, if you're just triggering me, you know. Like,
well, this is so stupid because it's like boys surprise people with dance, and like
little boy dancing show.
I feel so awkward watching this, and like they just making people move.
Oh, I hate this. This is main character syndrome.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. And look at this guy, like, dude, like, really?
What are you doing?
And then the woman with the baby is like, oh, I guess I'll move. Should I move?
It's so awkward, dude. And this has 340,000 likes. And people just,
you know, the worst part? Go to the comments.
I think the top one's good on this. Dude should have stood his ground and not gotten out of the way. These damn public TikTok dancers are doing the most. So the people are turning, Richard, finally.
The video is a miracle. It helped my uncle to finally walk again, and the first thing he did was walk to the Wi-Fi and switch it off.
I love that.
Yeah.
The problem is that even if people are mad, it's still pushing the video.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That, like, people like you as well, you know, you're the one saving this.
Yes.
Like,
I've probably given this 4 views at this point.
Yeah. And, you know, it pushed it, and, like, not even just the number, but you like saving it and like showing someone else, it gets on their shit. Like, the algorithm is promoting it because you hate it. And I do too.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
Yeah. And then there's this kind of stuff, right? And I see this a lot. And this really pisses me off. I'll tell you what, you'll notice, okay? It's a cool TikTok or a short, or it's not cool, but I find it like, it's entertaining. And it's, you know, it's a neighbor climbing out of the window to save a kid.
Not all hero wear capes.
And then
ugh, it's so creepy. Why?
there's so many shorts that I've had on my list where like it's actually a good one, and then it just cuts to some random shot of some guy. It's either that or half of the screen is them just sitting there like this, watching it, reacting to it. And they do it because people will comment about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's bait, but it still pisses me the fuck off, man. It's all just such a waste of time. You know what I saw the other day? I saw 2 kids outside the store. This is just like 2 days ago. They couldn't have been older than 10. They were maybe 9 years old. And they had the phone set up on the bench, and they're like dancing in front of it for a TikTok. And they're like going forward and repeating it and trying to dance and stuff, which is also really sad. If I was a parent, man, I'd be like, well, don't. Because like TikTok is just pedo haven. Like anyway, that's my rant. I wanted to kind of shoo that in at some point because I was pissed.
That was natural, man. It was good. I didn't realize you had it planned, but I've never seen that before. Like someone just cutting a quick little like of them in the video. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that. I see people reacting like in the bottom of the screen. Maybe they got like a green screen going. That I've seen, but what you showed me, I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's There's another one actually that even pissed me off even more, and he does the same thing every time. It switches to him, and he goes like, and that's it. It's just a really stupid fucking face, and it's every time, man. And I wish I had a link to it because it makes me even more mad.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments will know just from that. I won't even do it again. Someone will know exactly what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
it's kind of like, have you seen the American Psycho gif of him going like,
oh yeah, oh that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll just cut to him doing like,
yeah,
it's just really cringe, and it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, and he does it, I think, not only to put a stamp on the video, but because people are just like, this guy's useless. What is he doing here at the end? Like,
from what I see, people love it. Really? I mean, people are like, oh my god, ooh, like, it's Sigma Chad face.
Yeah.
And it's this guy. Oh, it's him again. Oh my god, nice.
Yeah.
You know. And there's also like, there's a guy who just like, he just like duets or stitch or random videos that go viral on TikTok that are like, they're really crazy. And it'll just be like him opening his door to go outside, and then he stops and reacts like this, and then the video plays.
Nice.
And that's it. And it's titled something, you know, like, but it's supposed to be like him walking out, seeing something crazy, and then closing the door. It's like, I understand why people really love this type of stuff, but could it be any more like simple?
Yeah.
It's he's a genius for doing it, honestly, man. Like if it gets him the money, go ahead. Yeah. But all you're doing is taking other people's videos and then like open door, close the door.
Yeah.
And then you just edit the thing in the middle.
I think the reason I don't like it is because it's lazy. I think it's lazy. I think there are fun ways. So there are things on TikTok, for example, that I think were fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday.
Yeah, I do really like this one.
This one's, I'll just watch, just because I'll watch a little.
Yeah.
Amazing. Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my...
She's...
Marcus, you don't want to do that.
Breaking news, a man is currently holding the side of his home.
It's so funny, man. Like this, and it ends up going so far with it, you know? And I love, this is original to me. Or not even original, but it's like, it's creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are good ways to kind of reuse content. And I think there's just,
Absolutely
I hate seeing
agree.
that like the lazy ones are the ones that get really big because... I think I'm slowly realizing that I'm aging, and a lot of the internet is for kids. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. But the first guy who did the duet with the gun, that guy is a king. Like he's the one who really started this shit going, and then like that's really funny.
Hopping on it.
And now, if you skip to the middle of this, here's where I'm done. Like
it's gone too far.
I was done way before this as well. Like just let the people who did the funny thing do the funny thing, and then oh my god, wait a minute.
It does end up going a little far. Like why? Yeah, they're just jumping on it, you know.
Because obviously it's like, look, this guy. Okay, that's not really his name, but he has show at the end of it. So like, obviously he's trying to do something because he is the blah 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 show, and then like he wants to be in on the thing because then you're gonna Google him and exactly you're doing it at that point for you, rather than the guy who just did it at the thing with the gun because it's funny. He's doing it because he's funny. Yeah.
No. Watch this be one of like the biggest TikTok stars that you just called out.
I mean, honestly, if he wants to smoke, I'm here, man. Like,
God,
come on.
You hit Mike and Mo show like that? Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, you read the name, man. Now we're both implicated.
Yeah. Anyway, it pisses me off. There was one actually. I've written like in my notes. I have like a note thing where I put stuff that I think like, this could be funny to bring up. I haven't even watched this, but I have one that just says, "Fuck, this is boring" in all caps.
Let me see.
For some reason, I never hear anyone talking about this Disney hack. And it's not a guarantee, but when it works, it's really, really good. Obviously, it's super disappointing when a ride goes down at Disney, but it might work out in your favor. Next time a ride goes down, stay nearby. Do some of the attractions in the land or in the same area. And watch the My Disney Experience app. Because right when the ride comes back up, sometimes you can get in line and ride with no wait.
And that's it. That's the short.
People who dedicate too much of their lives to Disney are probably
about to get a rich.
If I had to rate the top 3 most cringe type of person, they would be in top 3. They would be in top 3 for me. People who care too much about their birthday.
Oh yeah. You say that as someone who doesn't give a shit about your birthday. I always feel like I care more about your birthday than you do.
It's never been a big thing for us in my family at least. So it's like, so if it's like, here I'm really stoking the flames because there's a lot of people who I know who really care about their birthday, and it's like
Disney.
Yeah, that too.
The combo.
But the birthday thing is not in my top. It's just I wanted to throw out another example.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, there's stuff like people who do really bad stuff. They're let's reserve them for a different list. But in a fun list, Disney people are top.
Yeah, you don't like that?
No.
Why?
Because it's cringe. Like, do something else with your fucking time, man.
Yeah.
Disney?
Do you say the same thing about someone who's really into anime?
Yeah, sure.
Do you?
Of course. Someone who's what, like?
Do you find it equally cringe? I'm just checking if it's really about the fact that they care so much about it, or if it's the fact that you don't like Disney that much.
Here's the thing. Do you know that there are people who go to Disney World every single week? Every single week and go
stop, this doesn't exist.
Yes, they go every week and that's how they spend their time.
What? I thought you were going to say like year.
No, they go every week. They go and spend the entire day there. Yes, every single week.
Who do you know that goes every week?
I don't know anybody personally, but but there are people who do that. They sell like year passes.
How do they make the money to? Oh, okay, they'll have like an annual pass that they spend $4,000 on or something.
Yeah,
probably.
And then they go. I mean, like they go, they do some rides, and then like they eat there and they hang out and like.
Oh, so it's like kind of like the mall.
Kind of, yeah. And then they go and like. They're the same people who wear like the Disney merch and they have like some kind of Disney tattoo and like anybody who dedicates that much of their life to Disney is cringe.
Fair. But I think you could say the same thing about anything. You could say the same thing about someone who goes to an anime convention once a
No,
week.
if there was if there's an anime convention like
Anime
permanently, Anime Land in Stockholm, and I went every single week.
Yeah,
You don't think I'm cringe?
Actually, you've made your point even better by saying that, because that sounds fucking ridiculous to me.
Yes, like that's and then I'm like, yo,
Biggest
man, like,
weeb.
yo, we're going, like, yeah, we're going this Saturday, man. You should come on. And like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, come on, they make the best ramen bowls there.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm not going.
I could see you being that guy in another universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends what kind of girls they got there, you know.
Of course.
If there are any.
I've never tried anime, other than
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, which is technically that. But I've never tried the more traditional weeb stuff.
Yeah, if I had to recommend you something, I'd recommend One Punch Man.
I knew you were going to say One Punch Man.
Yeah, it's because it's like satire.
Oh.
It's like, I mean, he literally defeats every opponent he ever faces in one punch.
Spoilers.
It's the point of the show. Like
How is it so good then?
Because he does something like he gets lost, or he's riding his bike on the way over, you know.
Okay.
And then there's like really insanely epic heroes that are way over the top, and then like some evil bad guy will have like a really long monologue, and like it's satire. It's making fun of anime.
Does it have like 1,000 episodes, or is it more reachable?
No, I think it's even on Netflix, and it's like the first season maybe like 12 episodes, something like that. You know, not like I would. Never in my life would I ever tell anybody to get into One Piece.
No, why
because
not?
that's like there's like 1,200 episodes or something for you to catch up on.
Yeah, I mean that just sounds kind of like on the same level as going to Disneyland every week.
Yeah,
sounds like a lot of dedication.
You would literally, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but if you've been watching it, I've been watching since I was like 9 years old, or reading since I was 9. So
I still doubt that there are people who go to Disneyland once a week.
I promise you there are. It's just not in the same group of people that you understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like you don't know the normies of Florida.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be an American thing, so it's even harder for me to have heard of it because
exactly
it's not in Sweden.
If you work there, you can go every week. If you have a job, go every week.
Oh, you allow it then? Richard,
I allow it.
It's got the stamp of approval.
Yeah. But if you don't work there, go once a year. That's it.
That's how you avoid getting your stamp of cringe.
You can go, I'm generous guy, you go twice a year.
Okay. We heard it here first.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I have a notepad where anything that pisses me off or catches my interest, I'll write
very
down.
Good for you, man. I'll be honest.
So I went through my list, right? And I had one where I had just written, one of the lines just said, Daniel Craig, baby Piers Morgan. So at some point I've seen something.
Oh, yeah.
So I Googled that exact thing and I found this. And I remembered what had pissed me off.
Yeah.
Why are people like this famous? Why is a guy like Piers Morgan? I'm not going to make this into a Piers Morgan rant.
You make it about Daniel Craig.
But
why is this guy famous?
This photo, oh yeah, true. This photo looks like I got a little turned on seeing this. This is really bad out of context. But like looking at a but look like this, the dad vibe that he's got going here is just so nice in my opinion. Like it looks good and he's fucking hot, you know, and he's taking care of his baby and stuff. Like I had such a lovely vibe and warm feeling when I see this. And then fucking Piers Morgan tweets, "Oh, 007, not you as well. Hashtag emasculated Bond." Which just gets me questioning, is Piers Morgan a dad? Because if so, he has to be one of the worst dads on earth if he looks at a guy carrying his baby as something that's negative. Tell me he's got like 5 kids or something.
Holy shh. Wait, okay. There's a ton of results here. Like, there's a children. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 children. So you're one off. Yeah, you're one off.
So he's basically outing himself as a horrible father. If he thinks this is a bad thing, like just the idea of this, how have we reached that point that we're like, we have someone who's one of the biggest UK like spokesmen. That's kind of a reach, but you know, like he's huge and he's saying something like that. And then people also say that cancel culture is a thing, but he's doing absolutely fine. I'm not saying that he should lose his job over it. I'm just saying he's fucking stupid. Like just this alone gets me so like, what is the message he's trying to convey? You know, am I wrong for getting annoyed seeing this? Like,
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know, this guy, he would make a great General Rum. However, just look at him. No, but
I agree.
I think, yeah, but that was your pick for.
I know, but I like I've been thinking about it as the week has gone on, and I really like it.
Yeah,
really
give him the role.
me.
The thing I think with Piers Morgan is that he's like, the UK is a really conservative place, right? So that's why he's a very popular voice.
Yeah.
For those people, you know. But whereas,
but even
like
for them, I feel like it's such a stretch to look at this and be like, this
but
is
I
bad.
think, but there's also so many people who clown on Piers Morgan all the time because everybody fucking hates the prick.
Kind of like James Corden.
I mean, you already know what we think about that piece of shit over here. Like. And then he has all these like fucking super Hollywood nepotism babies who defend him. Like, good. Prove our point. Yeah. Prove our point that he's really, really, really nice to the people who are super famous with really wealthy families. Great.
You know,
he fucking sucks. And so do you.
He's kind of like Ellen DeGeneres.
Are you forgetting about the episode?
No, I'm not. It popped up on my home. I've already ranted about Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what Tio thinks about Ellen, you know.
Yeah, she can go to hell.
She can go to hell. Yeah.
I think also the thing is, Piers Morgan, I'm doing exactly what he wants. He puts up stuff like that because he knows that he'll get views and clicks and everything. Yeah. So if 80% of people are ranting about it and stuff, he's still getting more viewers and more clicks, and 20% of everyone who checks it out will be like, yeah, he's right. Fuck fathers who care about their kids. Like, I don't know, it's such a stupid. When you can have the whole like emasculation. Is that a word? That doesn't sound. It sounds like it should.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a word. Emasculation. If you care about it that much and stuff, the fact that you're so into that you go to the point where just like a caring father is too much for you, like because he's carrying his own kid. Like, speaking of masculinity, I'm gonna show you something. I want to see your reaction to it. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Did you cry?
No.
I cried.
I'm not a little pussy like you.
I cried, man. I cried. I was on my couch. This popped up. I'd gone from being mad about some short, and I just fully cried. Like, I fully started crying. And then I started laughing because it was so pathetic of me.
Was that good for you?
Yeah, I love crying.
So when you said that all you're doing when you're on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts is that you're just like teleporting into the future because it's all meaningless
something
and useless
comes along and grabs
and
me.
It did for you.
Yeah.
Now admit you're wrong. Admit you were wrong.
No, TikTok sucks.
All right. Yeah, no, man. Mostly I agree.
Yeah, it's nice. It does still hit me watching it now.
Yeah,
it's sweet, man. It's nice. Yeah, I fully started crying. I was just sat alone, just in the dark watching it.
I mean, maybe that's why you were crying, man.
Yeah. I'm all for crying, man. I've been saying I think I'm the. I've cried so much on stream.
Spokesperson
as well.
for
I like on stream. Like I often talk about crying. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's important. I'm the opposite of Piers Morgan. I'm just. He's gonna. He could easily. This could be a picture of me crying. You know.
Oh, right up here. There's a edit of you crying,
me,
and the text is Piers Tio's game for crying.
Yeah, for crying. So he received like a gift bomb or something.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of shorts, you know my dad, of course,
He's short,
Stefan. He has TikTok. And I was complaining about TikTok to him, and he said he watches it and he uses it to exclusively to look at plane crashes.
He's a psycho?
He was fully serious as well. And he said that he watches it, like, I think it's like a curiosity kind of thing, and like psychological, like, I think it's just like, he finds it interesting.
But is TikTok the best for it? But that's
like the algorithm's so good. No, so he probably, I think he said he saw one at one point and liked it. Like, he was like, oh, this was very like fascinating to see. And then the algorithms just figured it out. And so it just gives him plane crash videos now.
Yeah, okay.
And
so it's kind of like...
And I didn't really believe him. But then later on, after dinner, he was looking at TikTok and I looked and there you go. He was watching a plane crash.
He's just like, check out my algorithm, Tio.
Yeah.
Like, here, these 50 people died here.
Super bizarre.
Ooh, 60 died here.
I kind of get it, to be honest. It's that morbid curiosity, right? It's why you look up, like, people have seen, like, beheadings and stuff, like...
Yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of... it really caught me off guard, though, because I was in the middle of ranting about it, and he's like, I use TikTok. I was like, what for? It's like, plane crashes.
Yeah, he's kind of a psycho for that, honestly. Maybe he's just like reliving the good old days. He was in a plane crash,
No, I think
like,
I do think you're onto something, though. I think he was more. I mean, he was a journalist and he's retired now and stuff, and he had a lot of excitement. And I think he just finds it really interesting, to be honest. It's that journalistic nature of him to just like he's lived in a lot of that kind of chaos, So I don't think he minds that aspect of it, and I think he just finds it interesting. But it's such a my dad thing to say. It's just really random with it, and like it's like what? It's like, yeah. He did it after dinner, waiting for dessert. He just had it open, and I looked, and he's just watching a plane crash.
What the fuck? He's just like having his like cheesecake and a little bit of plane crash on one side, a little bit.
I got mad at him. It was like, put your phone away. Stop it. I find with my parents that like the ages have kind of reversed as well. Have you noticed that with yours, or are they not like that?
What does that even mean?
I have it like a thing that I don't have my phone out at dinner at all. Like I will.
Oh, my family's not at all interested in their phones.
No, my parents will whip it out a lot, and I have to yell at them to take it away. Meanwhile, I'm like the good boy, basically, and they're my kids, like, and I have to just like stop it, get off your phone, let's talk instead. And it's funny how that's reversed. I think a lot of people would be able to relate with that.
Yeah, I'm like that with my mom, because my mom is more like, she'll walk, and then we're going to cross the road, and she'll just turn and walk straight out. And then I have to grab her and like, hey!
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing! You could have killed yourself! So like, I know.
Is that how panicked you get as well in that situation?
Yeah, because we'll just be walking, and then she'll like, okay, we turn here. And then like, go right out into the street. And then like, or like try to run across, like, and I run ahead and like grab her, So that type of thing is what my mom does. But my parents, not at all interested in their phones. Like,
no, that's nice.
It's something that they used to call and text.
Yeah.
And then like my mom will send like a picture of the rest of us to her family in the Philippines, and she'll be like,
so
okay, like, here you go, and that's it. So no, but it's weird. Like, I'm happy that they don't, because like parents on the internet it could be another top cringe slot, top 3, like.
And you have Zuckerberg to blame for it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, you know what? Ooh. Just the fact that you brought up Facebook just reminds me of something else.
No, God, do not share like a cringe memory.
It's a memory. It's not super cringe.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. Then we'll take it.
It's totally out of context, and I don't understand what you were writing to me.
Okay.
Explain yourself here, man. What are you trying to say here? What is this? I had an idea of what it might have
So
been, but
bad.
it doesn't.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oh, I thought you were getting it. You were
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Ba-
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oh my god.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oh
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
my
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
God.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba. God, I will say I
can't
accurately
believe it.
wrote it out.
I actually can't believe it. Yeah, you did. I can't believe it though. Well, I'm really impressed. I can't believe I thought we would be speculating, but you kind of just nailed it.
To be honest,
Okay.
as soon as you sent it, I thought this has to be like some song. So I just thought like I'll read it out, and then immediately I heard it in my head.
But why? Why to me? Like
Because that was XD
sure,
random.
this is like our. Oh, I see. I thought you were like, this is our song.
No.
It's like, if there's one thing, our
No.
first dance will be to this song.
I bet you if you hover over the date, it'll give you the time, and I bet you it'll be at like 4:30 a.m. It'll be at a really random time in the night. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have it up, so.
Yeah. No, we don't even have to check. It's verified.
You know what I thought it was? I thought it was Dead Rising.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because when you go outside
Yeah, and the
In
guys
Dead
show
Rising?
up in the car.
in this car, in the music,
How does it go?
you don't remember how the music goes? He goes
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
da-da, ba-da,
Ba-da.
ba-da. Yeah, exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
fucking great game.
yeah. Is there? I thought I heard of a Dead Rising sequel coming.
No, God, please, no. They're all so trash, man. They need to, if they're gonna do it, just remaster. Do the CAPCOM way. CAPCOM, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, just do what you
Yeah.
do with all the Resident Evils. Just remaster. Do because Dead Rising 1 and 2 are like they've aged now. Dead Rising 1 was like 2007 or something. Like it's crazy. old. Like so, yeah. They just went too.
Oh, man.
They went the Saints Row way, where it just ends up being just too ridiculous. Nobody
Yeah.
wants it.
but they made a co-op, and that was good.
Yeah. Well, Dead Rising 2 was co-op.
So
You and I played Dead Rising 2.
I thought we played 3
No, Dead Rising 2.
Oh.
It was the one with
with Chuck.
no, Chuck Green was the first one, no? And then Frank West.
No, Frank West is the first one. The
Chuck
reporter.
Green was the one with the co-op. Yeah, Dead Rising 2.
Yeah.
It's the one we really liked. The one with the cart in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
you
one's
have
genuine. Those are the first two are great. And then we played the third one and it wasn't as it was
We did? Oh, yeah, and you're a
Upgraded
mechanic.
engine.
That's
Yeah.
the third one.
yeah.
Right.
And it just ended
right.
up going too ridiculous with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in like a flamethrower truck and you're like driving around. And,
Yeah, and you could just survive. Like it was really impressive hordes, and you could just walk through them. Basically, if you just run, you're just constantly pushing them aside. And it was just
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Going back and seeing gameplay from the first Dead Rising, it's like, in my head, I'm like, there are zombies everywhere. But there actually aren't. It's just that they're like tough.
Yeah.
Like you don't just like zigzag between a couple of packs. You know?
No, yeah. Unless you had
you
like
have
a
to.
lawnmower or something.
Yeah, you kind of have to take your time with them. And
Yeah,
like,
it was done really well
find
in
a
that
way.
way.
uh-huh.
There were quite a few. I mean, I remember when we went back to Dead Rising 2 on the Xbox 360 at one point, it was like 20 FPS. Like it was really laggy.
Mm.
So it couldn't even run on the console it was released on.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, if they're coming with a new one, I hope that they'll just go back to basics.
Yeah, me too. I think Capcom is like, they have the best streak going of any games company. I talked to Stefan about this the other day. We were saying like, he was like, like the Resident Evil 4 remake is getting like tons
Really
of
good
really
reviews, yeah.
reviews. And I was like, yeah, the original game itself is already a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then they're putting this new modern Resident Evil spin on it. It's just like their recipe cannot fail. But he was like, I asked him, like, there's like, what other franchise makes that many games that are amazing? Because like,
True. I see
Resident
what you're
Evil.
saying, yeah.
I mean, Resident Evil 2 remake was in 2019. You know, and before that, of course, Resident Evil 7, and then Resident Evil 3 remake 2020, Resident Evil Village 2021, and then now they're doing the remake in 2023.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, man. It's hard
I
to
thought
do.
you were going to say that they had so many big franchises.
They do, actually. I mean,
They've got so many.
Yeah. I guess this we could, fucking talk about all their franchises, but I just mean Resident Evil, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, who gets that many games right?
Yeah. We don't talk about Resident Evil 6.
Some people really liked it. I think it's just you and I, right?
I ban anyone in my chat whenever I mention RE6. I ban anyone who says it was good. Such
it was
a
good.
bad
What are you
game.
talking about? It's just ban.
Yeah.
In their ban appeal, they're like, "Oh, I said it was a good game, man.
Decline.
Like, what happened?"
They don't understand.
No, you don't belong here.
That's so bad. I do hope that they go all the way and do RE5 as well. I think after that it gets a little tough to remake, but RE5 could use a remake.
But that's a co-op, dedicated co-op game. So in this new style that they're doing with co-op,
you know what they do? They do it and release a friend pass with it. Only one person needs it. They go all the way and get the people's hearts.
Holy shit, yeah.
That would be nice.
Because that is such impressive game choice.
Generosity.
Yeah, generosity. It's like you play one of the best co-op games in the world, A Way Out.
Yeah.
It Takes Two, and only one person needs it?
Yeah. Fucking
Oh my
insane.
god.
And they have such a quality game, they don't even have to do it, and they still do it.
Yeah. They could make double that money, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah. Like if it's one of the highest rated co-op games, then yeah, people are going to buy it. So the fact that they give it with a friend pass, insane. And if Capcom did that with RE5, that would just be like the perfect end to this streak of remasters.
Yeah. Oh man. Do you think they make like Resident Evil 7 remastered?
No, I think that personally, I imagine
style?
they'd end it with RE5. That's when they go back to like Dead Rising and Lost Planet.
Lost Planet.
I feel like I'm the only one who remembers Lost Planet.
Yeah, the only thing I can really remember is like the grappling.
Yeah, it was grappling, and it was like a big snowy ice world.
Yeah.
When you went in certain areas, you only had a timer to get ahead, and then they had like a fun multiplayer. Honestly, it was fun. I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, and then you were sort of like on this planet that was lost.
Yeah, it's
right.
off
Something
its
like
gravitational
that.
orbit.
How are you feeling? You feeling okay? You wanna
It's a good natural end to it,
bring
I
up?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Really
So
good episode.
I noticed with the first one, we went on so long with the Gears of War stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was part of because that was the natural ending. Like once we wrapped that up.
Yeah.
But it took us so long to do.
Took so long to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one should hopefully have been on Spotify as well.
Ooh, the people have spoken.
Yeah, I think
And
we got to
Tito
get
has
them up
listened.
there. Yeah. If it's
Yeah.
not, then something went wrong, and we'll be there soon.
Sorry. Yeah.
There's certain things we talk about, I think, where you need visuals, but I think we do a good job at kind of not sticking to that.
Yeah. And if you are okay with that, then and you still want the audio version, then like
Yeah,
it's
then
good to
fuck
do,
it.
man.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
good to have, yeah.
Cool. Well, do we have an outro?
No, except
Somebody brought up the old podcast outro.
No, but that's a different outro for a different series.
It's so
man.
good, though.
Yeah, but it has to be done.
All right, we're going to be cutting to an outro here, made exclusively by Richard for this podcast.
Thank you everyone for listening. That's the Pact, Check the description for everything that you should follow.
Yeah. Hell yeah. See you in the next
Bye.
one.